Können wir doch mal kurz mit der Chihiro schnacken?
Red door on the first floor. That's where I should go. No, where I have to go.
Shit.
Vielleicht kannst du ja vorhin wahrscheinlich nochmal mit ihr reden. Nee, sie sind alle da.
Achso. Da drin?
Maybe? Weiß nicht, die rote Tür im Erdgeschoss? I don't freaking know.
Das ist doch rot, oder?
Das ist Holzfarben.
Ach so. Na dann. Also ich meine, wir können zwar mit denen reden, aber ich glaube nicht, dass da noch weitere Informationen oder so gibt.
Yo, Link Makoto!
Halt die
We're all
Fresse!
waiting for you!
Natürlich sind wir wieder spät dran. I bet you were afraid you would be discovered as the murderer you are.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Save it for the class trial. There we can all reveal the details of Makoto's crime. So they really are convinced I did it. But I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. But then, who is the killer? Sayaka, who's the killer? Who killed you? Oh, right. The one who murdered Sayaka. Is it really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
So, dann müssen wir mal gucken, wo steht denn die Kleine?
Ja, toll. Ja.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, in the end, I wasn't able to do any... Yeah. Looking around or anything. Is this really how Sayaka would want us to find out who killed her? Yeah, no, we're fucked. Was das angeht.
Dann Fahrstuhl.
Ja,
Das lohnt
Fahrstuhl.
sich hier nicht. Die sind doch alle gegen uns.
Ja, klar.
I guess I have no choice but to get on this elevator.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right. I'm shitting my pants here.
Ich wusste, dass das kommt.
I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mystery surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Sayaka's honor. I swear I'll find out who the real killer is! Alle so, oh mein Gott, halt einfach das Maul. I raised my voice to try and give myself courage. I turned, trembling with anticipation, toward the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator. Of course he's late! He's right in front of it and he's late! Even though he initiated the action to go on the elevator. When I finally stepped on, the doors closed and the elevator started to move. The steel box descended with heavy clunking sounds towards the school basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes.
Oh,
Rather than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment?
Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school.
You finally arrived! What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie set, right?
Shit. Don't even not even close. It's total shit.
well now.
Okay, everyone, find your assigned seat and sit down. Hurry up now, hurry!
We did what he said and found our seats. But we're still just standing there. There was no seat. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else. Which also meant it'd be easy for anyone to transfer their tension and unease onto anyone else.
Alter, Hifumi, der Pastor kommt da rein, ey.
Deshalb steht er auch noch einen halben Meter weiter entfernt. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. Ihr steht, ihr sitzt nicht! And so, the curtain on our first case opened. Schreiben die gleich auch, Moment mal, und Einspruch!
Vermutlich.
A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly death, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial.
Do you want to save? Yes.
The fuck yes? Und genau hier habe ich dann praktisch aufgehört.
Aber hier können wir mal kurzes Päuschen machen, weil ich müsste mal ganz kurz Tee wegschaffen.
Okay.
Na,
Dann.
bis, Moment.
Gut, wir haben also bloß den einen Skill gesammelt, ja?
Wir haben bloß diesen einen.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Wow. Das.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
Ich dachte gerade, die zeigen auf das Sayaka. Ja, dann frag doch.
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
God damn it.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
Das Gute an der Sache ist, wir brauchen an sich nicht mehr so viel vorlesen. Also sprechen.
Nee, jetzt nicht mehr so viel, stimmt.
Ja.
Ich meine, bevor ich gerade vorlese. Es ist aber wirklich seltsam, dass da 16 Plätze sind, weil wir haben ja an sich bloß 15 Charaktere plus Monokuma.
Mhm.
Sodass wir halt uns jeder 8 Charaktere geben konnten.
Naja.
Zwei sind weg, einer von deinen, einer von meinen und gleich geht noch einer von meinen weg.
Tja.
Weil da hab ich gleich dann, ne? Aber warum 16? Das ist doch schon fast so, kommt dann noch mal was? Irgendwo muss noch ein Plot-Twist sein. So wie bei Phoenix Wright beinahe, oder? Also ich glaube mit einem Plot-Twist.
Keine Ahnung.
Naja. It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. I mean, it's obviously me.
Weil wir wollen uns ja auch nicht irgendwie spoilern lassen oder so. Das ist ja, ne?
Mhm. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything.
Speak up, boy!
Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line.
Wer ist Else?
Everyone else's lives. Das hat aber auch funktioniert. Your first nonsense debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? We know this shit. Not at all.
Okay. Ah, missschwindelig. Make your argument. Evidence of struggle. Das waren halt die Spuren, ne?
Genau.
assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
That's obvious.
I know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom.
Die Stimmen sind sehr leise, ne?
So it seems
Ja, bei mir auch.
likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No.
Immerhin das besseres Aim als Aaron.
Naja, gut.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
Keine Ahnung, Chihiro war nie in deinem Zimmer.
With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Ich doch irgendwie ins Menü gehen und die Musik ein bisschen leiser drehen?
Versuch's doch. Ja, dann mal halt mit linken Shift.
Mal. Shift.
System, nochmal linker Shift. Damn it.
Mal Shift.
Dann gerade nicht. Nee, ist bloß die beiden Seiten. Bringt nichts.
Kacke. Müssen wir halt einfach damit leben.
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
Hat einen besseren Akzent drauf als ich.
Die hat nicht mal einen Akzent.
Ah, doch einen leichten.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
Ich würde wirklich gerne die Musik leiser drehen.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Aber ich finde, geht noch.
Okay.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow.
And it was my
It's starting
fist.
to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka.
Oh Gott. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Kitchen knife.
Makoto, what do you have there? A knife! No!
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, that's wrong.
Ich denke aber auch dran, dass nicht unbedingt das erste aufploppt,
Ja, ich
wirklich
weiß schon,
hier
ich
ist.
weiß
Ne?
schon.
I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Komischerweise, Sakura ist laut genug.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Obvious.
No shit, Sherlock.
Noch nie ein Küchenmesser gesehen, ihr Deppen.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us?
Mhm.
I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer.
There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debate. Would you like to hear? Yeah, no, we're good, we're good. Whee!
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret. Nobody was in the dining.
Aha!
No, it's wrong.
Eat this!
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Wenn James hier einfach nur in den Rücken fallen würde, ne?
Ja, Alter, oh, Alter, das wäre
Das wäre so eine Bitch.
From the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone.
So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall?
Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
Yes.
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops, did I say that out loud?
Well, thank you.
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Gee,
Seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall. No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Ja.
Right. But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem. A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome.
And with that hat er sich immer ein bisschen ins Fettnapfel gesetzt.
Außerdem, ja, Pascal, die beiden haben die Nacht zusammen verbracht. Die ficken!
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Because nobody asked.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here? Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was Sayaka.
I got it!
War Hina. Eindeutig.
Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water.
But the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Ich hasse dieses voreilige Schlüsse ziehen.
Ja.
Yeah, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die. It's a risk they're gonna take.
It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
Wirklich?
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like... Nein.
Ja, diesmal ja. Das möchte ich auch noch mal wissen, was das ist.
Ja? Okay. Well then, good luck. Have fun. You're gonna need it.
Runde spielen wir Hangman, wir müssen jetzt bloß rauskriegen, welches Wort wir suchen. Something that should have been at the scene, but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. Der sagt, es war nicht ein einziges Haar zu finden.
Ja, ja.
Das ist wahrscheinlich unser Wort. If we can just figure out what that something is.
Hangman's Gambit. It's hair. Achso! Ich brauche ein R. Ah.
Now I understand.
Das ist auch so dumm irgendwie gemacht, ne?
Ja, auch, also relativ unnötig, sag ich mal.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
That's what we've been saying the entire time! Based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
First of all, he's too stupid.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Ja, unsere Tür passt nicht richtig. Deswegen. Da gibt's einen Trick.
The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is... I don't fucking know. The object the killer broke.
Das hier.
Das hier.
Nee, also bestimmt.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
Das Ding, was an der Tür ist, Hero.
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the door, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? Yes! Yes, it is!
Why is everyone so stupid? There's a bit more to learn about the non-stop debate.
Lass mal. Bewildering act nennt man das heutzutage so.
Bathroom door for frame.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
Correct.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
Yes.
Correct.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Huh?
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Falsch.
Woohoo, that was close.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door...
Glück im Unglück, bitch.
That's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Da höchstens so ein bisschen Akzent hatte drin.
Ja, ein ganz kleiner, aber geht mehr in die Richtung Französisch.
You can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked. So they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime they didn't know was...
The crime took place in my room.
My room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer
Unless you were faking it.
È tutto so.
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
But
You heard the man.
decide on who we think did it.
He was it, he gave up. Shoot him.
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
Eh?
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh,
One?
You
don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
Nein.
I don't think so. That seems
So langsam werden seine Argumente auch immer dümmer.
Ja.
Er hat noch ganz gute Vertuschungen gemacht, aber jetzt mittlerweile nicht auseinander.
Maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative. If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
When it actually is.
Trying to argue against me?
At least in
Sounds like
part.
someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Hifumi, you're pointing past me. You're not pointing at me, you're pointing at somebody.
I'm standing right next to you!
Because she asked me to do something in particular, because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. There's no way Sayaka let someone in because... Noch ein bisschen weiter? Shit. Warum hat sie... Ja, Switching Rooms, genau. Die Schlüssel müssen das sein.
Yep.
Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Wir sind so gute Detektive einfach, wir kennen das schon, aber wir müssen erstmal noch rauskriegen, was war nochmal mit drin?
Wir sind gut, aber nicht so gut. Auch wir haben ein paar kleine Gedächtnislücken.
Also wir sind zu zweit, da darf man schon mal doppelt so dumm sein.
Ja, wenn schon, denn schon, ne?
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, you can't be dumber than them.
Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just as two. In 5 minutes, come to see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a
Sayaka.
notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appear.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words.
Nee, der muss aber schon ordentlich aufgedrückt haben, damit sowas passiert.
Ja, der Stift war spitz und man hat einfach ganz normal drauf losgeschrieben, hat einfach nicht dran gedacht.
Ah.
When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly
Die waren nur einfach
useful
noch
sometimes.
gewollt.
Oh, and I should also
Er hat einfach nur vergessen zu atmen, würde ich sagen. Oh, shit, I can't breathe.
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Also das könnte auch jeder so geschrieben haben, also bitte.
Ja, mit lateinischen Buchstaben, ja, aber denk mal dran, das ist eigentlich ein japanisches Spiel. Die haben nie ihre Namen gelernt, außer wie sie gesprochen werden. Sayaka wüsste, wie ihr Name geschrieben wird.
Na gut, na gut.
Then that note, Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
You, because you're only into Judy. Yeah.
So it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Fuck off, man!
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Ja, schon so ein bisschen.
Very well then. Pay attention.
Na dann, make your argument. Door nameplate.
Die Mondo einfach immer noch schreit.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone
wird
did
gewesen.
the note,
Ja,
did what it
kann auch.
said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem.
Ja, das wär's gewesen, okay.
The killer went to my room instead of Sayaka's, and the reason for that is... It has to be because of what got switched between my and Sayaka's rooms.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they
Come
would
on,
have
come
gone
on.
to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was...
No, that's wrong.
Seit wann ist da oben ein Timer?
Nameplates on my and
seit Anfang
Sayaka's
an?
rooms
Die
got
ganze Zeit
switched.
schon.
Ja.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
Ja, we got the concept.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Vielleicht doch.
Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only other person who knew we had switched rooms. Sayaka.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come to see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Ja, der war's?
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Thank you, Mondo! Thank you!
Sayaka
You're
was
welcome.
a killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with a fake sword is because...
She told
when
me!
You look at her wrist, there's no doubt.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? And what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. No, fuck you.